Okay, practice is, I guess, officially over, at least for you and a lot of the other guys that are pulling out right now. Down here on the Harris chain, stop number 3 of the FLW Tour, presented by Ranger. And the man, the myth, the legend, reigning Forrest Wood Cup champion, John Cox has joined us. And first of all, before I get into anything Florida or anything like that, it's been kind of a tough go so far this year for you on tour. Which makes you a great pick on fantasy fishing. So get after it. Yeah, you are cheap, and it's perfect. But gosh, man, on your social media, I have seen you catching some absolute giants this year. What have you been doing?
You know, I got back from the last 2 tournaments where I didn't even catch a limit, you know, either day of any of them. And so I was just, you know, I was upset and a little angry. So I went fishing every day and just caught as many as I could. And
it's so many big ones.
And, just caught some giants.
Like, what's the biggest one you caught?
I think I had like a 10.5, a 10, a couple 9s. Like, it was some giants.
That's getting after it. Yeah. So you feel a little better then?
Oh yeah. I mean, as soon as I catch one, like I left Travis. And I went to Beanville Plantation.
Oh yeah.
And I caught like a 10.5, and I forgot all about Travis.
So we got a fresh slate now. Also on your social media, I saw a picture of a younger, you know, more youthful looking John Cox. But it was a BFL win from, like, how long ago was that?
Oh gosh, you know, I'm thinking that was 10 years ago. I think it was like 20 or 21. It was a super tournament. I wasn't even gonna fish the thing, and Joe Kramer called me and he's like, hey, you know, one of your areas you like, you know, it's got some fish in it, you know, you might want to go. And I jumped and I showed up in the meeting and went to the tournament, and I think I won by like 8 pounds or something.
Which I forgot to mention, that was on the Harris chain. So yeah. you have some history, which is very rare in this tournament for a lot of the field to actually have some background here on Harris. So now let's dive into that. We're 3 days done with practice. What's it like out on Harris right now?
You know, it's just changing so much right now. Like, you know, one day one area looks really good. I go back the next day, take another look at it. It looks awful. You know, and I think we're getting a little bit of the water dropping just slightly, not much. You know, but it's enough where I can actually tell in some areas.
Sure.
And you know, so I mean, it looks great. I mean, they're letting a lot of grass grow, so there's a ton of offshore grass. You know, I know there are a lot of, everybody's kind of like, oh, it's not that good, but I'm telling you that everybody's gonna catch them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
as much as they gripe, I know, and I've seen it when I've been riding around in the practice galleries. Guys are going to catch fish. The big thing through practice was a lot of wind, and it seemed to not only just make it annoying to fish, but also, I mean, it seems like it dirtied up a lot of water that guys would want to fish, and also it seems like it left a lot of areas untouched. So do you think we'll see some stuff like guys expand on areas in the tournament that they didn't even really look at in practice because of that wind?
Right, I think they will, and I think that's where a lot of you know, a lot of people end up catching them, because I mean, just that little bit of wind, you know, it muddied up that outside, even some of the grass lines. Sure. You know, to flip and stuff. But once that settles down and you know, those fish go back to, you know, getting in that grass and stuff, you know, you know, you could really, you know, load the boat in one spot.
The one thing I want to talk to you about, because you're the most local guy we've spoken with yet, is, so there's 10 lakes we can fish, or you can fish, in this tournament, and I don't really know a lot about some of the other lakes. I mean, I know like Griffin's, you know, pretty good spot. I know Eustis, there's a lot of guys fishing there. Harris, obviously, but are any of those other lakes, like Dora and some of those smaller ones, do you think they'll factor this week?
Yeah, I think all of them will. You know, I kind of, what I did, I sampled all of them. You know, with that wind, I mean, you know, I'd load the crest liner up, I'd dump in at a ramp. You know,
yeah, it's really easy to get around with vehicle.
Yeah, fish as close as I could, and you know, and then load up and go to another one. Just try to you know, get a feel for how everything's fishing, because you really don't know. You know, one day one of the lakes will turn on and you'll hammer them, the next day you'll go back and it'll be done. And I think we're actually getting wind. I think it's going to change every direction every day.
Yeah, so, pretty much.
So I'm excited. I was like, hey, I wanted to be just like this. So you know, so.
All right, talking a little technique. I mean, you're good with a swim jig, you're good with a vibrating jig. You made a lot of money on those over the last couple of years, but you're also a really, really good sight fisherman. So have you looked around for any bedding fish, and have you found any?
You know, I looked all over this place. You know, I really was trying to find some main lake spawners, somewhere where the water was a little bit cleaner. Just never really found that, you know, with all this wind and stuff. And you know, and then I ran a lot of the canals, and I mean, you know, and the problem is you know, there's so many of us out here. You know, it's one thing when there's a 100 boat tournament, but when you get, you know, 160 or 200 boats, those canal areas, the fish, they know the motors are idling through there. They're muddying them up. It makes them actually kick off the beds and leave, and kind of shuts them down. I mean, there would be a few places that still hold them, but it just it really messes it up when we all get out here. But
it seems like this tournament is really going to pan out kind of to whatever your strengths are. Like if you want to go catch some fish sight fishing, you can probably do that. If you want to go fish offshore, do you think this will be the most versatile Florida tournament we've seen on the tour in a long time?
I think so. You know, this place is just completely different from Florida. I mean, this is more of like an I don't know what this is like, to be honest with you. I mean, they're all round. They got grass around them.
Yep.
You know, all bowl, you know, kind of bowl shape. You know, there's not really much swamp areas.
Sure.
Kind of more like the, you know, unless you're up in Griffin and stuff. And, you know, it's just, that's why I like this place. It just, you know, fishes, you know, like here and the Winter Haven chain and stuff like that. Yep. You know, it's like pond fishing, kind of.
Cool. Well, the final thing I wanna leave you with before I let you go, you know, rig up and you get to sleep in for tomorrow, which is nice. But what do you think the winning weight is going to be this week?
You know, it's hard to tell. You know, if someone gets on that magical spot, there's always seems like there's some kind of magical spot out here. And whether it will hold up 4 days, I don't know. But usually 3 days, someone's going to crush them. You know, and maybe. So you know, I'm thinking if you caught, you know, 20 a day, you'd win.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's a lot, but I just, you know.
But we got a chance at a big bag, right?
Right. I mean, there's
one day, one big bag.
I mean, there's a chance, you know, anywhere in any of these lakes, someone can catch 30 pounds. I mean, it's out there, and I mean, this place got them. So.
Well, with that, we're gonna let you get rolling. Good luck this week, John, and I expect a 35-pound bag from you.